Henry Burris TV is brought to you by Hockey Central Sports Memorabilia, Sylvan Lake, and Supreme Menswear, simply the best. Well, it's time for the Buckwheat and Alfalfa show here. Welcome back, Alfalfa and Buckwheat. Very glad to be here.
How you doing, Alf?
Doing good.
You know, you do look like Alf.
Let's talk a little football here, Henry, because right now you guys are going up north to Edmonton. And you take on the Eskimos in what should be a shoot-'em-up match, I would think. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a pretty an epic game as far as in my eyes, because the two teams here have been fairly matched right now. I mean, both teams have a lot of momentum going into the first round of the playoffs. Of course, on our side, we're trying to seek revenge for the two losses that we sustained to them throughout the regular season. But of course, the one and only time that we played up there, we're able to get a big victory. So, I mean, we feel good about going on the road. I mean, unfortunately, we're not playing here at Calgary, something that we've been used to over the past couple of years. But we've had success at Commonwealth, and they know that, so we know they're going to be ready as well.
Okay, talk about how you beat the Edmonton Eskimos at Commonwealth.
Well, number one, I mean, you have to be able to run the ball. I mean, that's first and foremost. I mean, any team that, you know, deploys 3 defensive linemen, and of course, there are 2 defensive ends, to me, are probably the best pair in this league as far as combo-wise. Those guys really get after the quarterback, but they're upfield so much. I mean, therefore, you have to get John Cornish going. You have to get LaMarcus Coker going. You have to get the running game going. But also, you got to get the ball out of Drew Tate's hands. And to me, first and foremost, no turnovers, because you have to keep Ricky Ray and that offense off the field. I mean, there's so many weapons on that offense with Fred Stamps. I mean, them running the ball. They have so many different guys that can make things happen. Keep those guys on the sideline, take good care of the ball, and run that ball, just milk some clock, put points on the board when you get in the scoring zone.
You know, you sound like a wrestler.
You know what, guys? We're going to take it to them. This is what we do.
A wrestler that has been drinking lots of whiskey. That's what you sound like.
We take it to them.
Yeah, talk about that. The way that I think it's going to be coming down to the trenches. I mean, your O-line stacking up against that D-line, and if it's one thing that Eskimo defense can do is bring the heat. So. The O-line, there's a lot of pressure on them to stop these guys.
Well, I got to give our O-line credit. I mean, here over the past few weeks against some phenomenal defensive lines, being Winnipeg this past week, Montreal a couple weeks ago, two of the top sacking defensive lines in the CFL. They did a phenomenal job. However, I'm not going to toot their horn too much, because it doesn't matter what you did in the regular season. It's all about the postseason, and this is where it truly starts. I mean, Rich Stubler, one of the finest minds in coaching as far as in the CFL, helped, to me, revolutionize second and long. I mean, to me, he's came with some of the stoutest defenses to go up against anybody when it comes in a second and long distance. And like I said, with that front seven, like we talked about with, you know, Rod Davis and a number of their guys they have, TJ Hill, those guys really get after the ball. And they're going to be looking for ways to stop John Cornish, because they know if they can make our team one-dimensional, they can really put a lot of pressure on Drew Tate, who is still coming to his own, still young in the game and still learning on the fly. So if they can make us one-dimensional, they can really put a lot of pressure on number 4.
What about their secondary, Hank? Let's talk about that. I tell you what, when I saw these guys in training camp, and I watched a couple of their games, I said, how in the hell is this team going to win anything? And here they are, hosting a playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, what a turnaround.
Well, it's because of Rich Stubler's style of defense. I mean, he has that bend but don't break style of defense. A cover 4, play a lot of soft coverage, keep distance over the top between them and the receiver to make you take everything underneath. I mean, they don't give up a lot of stuff over top. I mean, and that's one thing that's really tough in the CFL is to go consistently 13-play, 10-play, 12-play drives, you know, and be consistent as an offense, because at some point you're going to have a bad play 1 out of 10 as an offense. And when you only have 2 downs to be effective, it really puts you in a tough position being at second and long. So, I mean, they do a great job of scheming up things, putting their young secondary in positions to be successful, and that's the reason why they found ways to win and allow those front 7 to get pressure on the quarterback, which makes it easy for the guys on the back end.
Should be a good game. Looking forward to it. Stamps and Eskimos Sunday.